So the past here, it's here, now B. By the way, I can also access B by doing arguments index 0. Right? Okay. So that's B. Where is A? Does A exist in this scope? Yes or no? No. So we go up one. There it is. Okay. This one matters.
How did you find that there is Y?
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
It does. Yes, sir.
How did you find that?
How did I find it? Oh, so you have a function, and it takes an argument, right? 5 is the argument that is passed to the function.
What is argument of the function?
No. Wait. Yeah, so look. This function, this get function, returns a function. So the value of f is now this function. See, return function. Okay? I'll pitch it. If they change, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah? Ja, alles. All good. So, devam. Devam. Чама? Чем карал? Это имечи, спана. А, чем? А. А как Get function conjugate, let's say. It's a sense in it, huh? Function is a I think conjugate. Ինքը ինչ որ վերադարձում է, այդ ամոթում է։ Return function ինչ է։ Չէ, return function բեջի, return function, հա, այս մի հատ ֆունկցիա է, որը function-ին նկարագրում է հետևյալ ձևով, որ սա ֆունկցիա է, որը որ վերցնում է փոփոխական բ եւ այսպեսի գործողություն է։ Return անում ես ուտնակի։
Յան հարստամ է լիրում։
Պատկերացեք այս ֆունկցայի տեղը return եք անում team։ Team։ Ինչ տարբերություն։ Team-ի տեղը ֆունկցիա է։
Մի հատ հարստամ էլի։
Լսում եմ ձեզ։
Որ anonymous function-ները չես պատմել, ու մի քիչ confuse է, էլի հարցը մնքի անուն։
Որ ինչեր է ջան։
Anonymous function-ները չես պատմել։
Հա։
Դա anonymous առանց անունի է դրա։
Շարժակացում եք լրիվ ճիշտ է։ Okay, ուրեմն այն ժողովուրդ։ Կա sense DB declaration, հա, որտեղ որ ասում ենք ֆունկցիա եւ իր անունը։ Կա երկրորդը, որտեղ որ մենք ստեղծում ենք մի հատ ֆունկցիա, anonymous ֆունկցիա, բայց դա դնում ենք փոփոխականի մեջ։ Բայց կարելի է ֆունկցիա, որ նույն ձևով ոնց որ թիվ կարելի է ունենալ առանց փոփոխականի։ Նույն ձևի կարելի է ֆունկցիա ունենալ, որը որ էլի յատուրի շարժեք, հա, առանց փոփոխականի։ Այս ժամանակ ես return եմ անում ոչ թե փոփոխական, այլ հենց արժեք, որը որ ֆունկցիա է։ Բայց այդ արժեքը երբ որ ստերից վերադարձվում է, գցում են այս փոփոխականի մեջ, որի անունը f է։ Հա, նույն այո։ Այսինքն նույնն է, ինչպես ես անեի var f հավասարը function։ Որը որ վերցնում է եւ այլն եւ այլն։ Okay? Բարձր ջան, լսում եք։ Այդ հետաքրքիր նյուանս է, ինքը որ ասում եմ աստիճաններով բարձրանում է, չէ՞, որ փոփոխականները ունեն, չէ՞, ինքը դառնում է ըստ այն տեղին, որտեղ որ նա ստեղծվել է։ Նա ստեղծվել է ստեղ, չէ՞, չնայած նա օգտագործվում է ստեղ, դա կապ չունի, ինքը ստեղծվել է ստեղ, ճիշտ է։ Քանի որ նա ստեղծվել է ստեղ, նա ստեղ է բարձրանում։ Եվ քրտում է այլ, եւ տեսնում է յոթ։
Դա closure-ը ջուրում։
Interpretatorի նյուանս է։
Closures are this notion of functions that can wrap and then they have their local variable state. That's a closure. Okay? Once you understand functions, you understand all a closure. A function is a closure in JavaScript. Okay? A closure is nothing more than closing or encapsulating or putting together variables so they don't leak into the other world. That encapsulation, that's closure. So I don't want to use, we'll get to closures later. Just understand functions, you'll understand closures. Okay? Now, S inject, submit, correct. By the way, guys, you guys will notice I often switch between Armenian and English, and some of you might be like, why don't you just teach in Armenian? What the hell is wrong with you? Sorry. The reason why I'm teaching in English is actually a few reasons. One, it's easier for me. Easy, good enough. But the second reason, honestly, is because the language for this industry is English. It really is, guys. And I think it's important for you guys to have that practice, to be able to hear someone talking technically at you, without accent, without, actually speaking to you the way a customer would, the way engineers that live in the States or Europe. So this is why. Okay? I could teach it in Armenian, but I'd much prefer to do it in English. Okay, so we understand scopes now. Congratulations. Awesome. We have 13 minutes. Let's quickly dive into objects. So we know what an object is. It's just this thing that includes key-value pairs, right? Easy enough, okay? So we know how to declare objects, right? You can declare an object in two ways. You can either do new object. We've seen this, right? Remember I told you not to do that, but instead to just do this? You remember this? Why? Because this is simpler. But I'd like to take you back to this for a moment. Why does this exist? Well, what this means is that object is actually a function. It's a function. And when you call it with new, it is creating for you a new object. It is constructing an object. Okay? We'll get to this in a moment, into further details.
What is prototype of
object? Object linking. So, okay. So this is where things get really kind of cool. How does inheritance work in JavaScript? It's actually really interesting. So in traditional and sort of classical inheritance that you guys have seen in Java or C# or C++, you have classes, and then you have instances of these classes, right? In JavaScript, you just have objects. And an object can inherit or have a prototypal reference to any other object. Okay. This takes a little bit of getting used to, but that's how it works. So let me give you a concrete example. For this example, I'm going to be using this underscore underscore proto underscore underscore. Do not do this yourself. Do not actually use underscore underscore. The reason why it looks like that, with underscores everywhere, is because it's very much a private system attribute that you should never touch. But I'm using it to make this explanation simple. So what's happening here? So we have an object that has a first name Baruch. Okay. We have a completely separate object, right? You see I created a variable, and in it I put in another object that has a last name of Sevak. Okay. Then I have another third object, which in it just has a function, getName, and the body of that function does the following. It does this. Now this, whenever you're inside a function, refers to the scope. Sorry, context, not the scope. Context. What do I mean by this? It means the object to which that function belongs. In this case, this function belongs to which object? That one, right? So this means that. Okay? With me so far? Okay. So, I'm saying the attribute of ops3, first name, plus, remember, plus is an overloaded operator, which in this case does what? Concatenation. Remember, you look to your left, you look to your right. If there's a string on either side, concat, right? Okay, so we have the first name here, which we concatenate with an empty string, right, for spacing. And then we do this, which again refers to that object, dot last name. So within that object, we're saying get the first name of this object, concatenate with the last name of this object. Now if I were to just do this, let me get rid of this stuff. I would get undefined, undefined, right? Because ops3 has no member called first name, and it has no member called last name. So they're empty values, therefore I'm concatenating undefined with undefined. Right? But here's the trick. Here's where things get interesting. I can add what's known as a proto-reference. What is a proto-reference? What a proto-reference is an object basically having a pointer to someone else. Right? That's a proto-reference. Okay? So if I have an object here, and I have an object here, if I do that, that is an underscore underscore proto underscore underscore reference from me to that. Okay? So, I have an opt2, which is this, that has a proto-reference to opt1. So opt2 is pointing at opt1, and then opt3 is then pointing at opt2. And so what we've made is a chain. Okay? So opt3 points at opt1. Sorry, opt3 points at opt2. Opt2 points at opt1. Opt1 actually has a proto probably of object. But that's where it is. So here's how it works. It works very similar to you need sugar. Okay? You need sugar. You're cooking dinner and you need sugar. And if you have sugar in your cupboard, you take it, you use it. Great. If you don't have sugar, what do? You go to your neighbor. Say, if they have it, they give it to you, score. If they don't have it, you go to the next neighbor. And you keep going neighbor by neighbor until you get to the roof and go, I have to go to the store. Okay, this is actually the same exact idea. Right? So when this says this dot first name, here's what's happening, guys. Listen, here's what's happening. It's trying to say, let me get first name. First name is sugar in this case, right? Let me get the first name. Do I have a first name? Does opt3 have a first name? Yes or no? No. So it goes to the neighbor. Do you have first name? Yes or no? Does opt2 have a first name? Does opt1 have a first name? You get first name, which is Padu. You've now inherited the value from opt1 all the way down to opt3. Okay? Similarly, once you do last name, same idea. You start here. Do I have a last name in this context? Yes or no? No. So I go to the next neighbor, I'm at now opt2. Does opt2 have a last name? Yes. Boom. So now I get Badu here, Seva here, bada bing, bada boom. It is now 11:54. I don't want to dive. This gets deeper. So, John, this one's no, it's not bidirectional. I don't think so. Wait. Has anyone tried it? I've never actually. I assume no, because it would be a circular. So no, I think no. Let me try it. That's an interesting one. Let's try it. So let's now have 3 points at 2, 2 points at 1. Let's have now 1 having dot reference to opt3. Yeah, no, you can't. Is that honest? We'll check. Other questions? Jump. JJ. Minus Oscar. Bei States Oscar. Ja, das single inheritance, not multiple inheritance. Mihat shakla. Mihat. Richard. What's the matter? Objectul unit. Nein, Shachtan sensa, kam meg, it's directional, banka. Utsk, Utsk, it has direction. Okay? Then score bana. Yete starica diskussion. ստեղ կա, okay, շատ լավ։ Բայց եթե ստեղից եմ սկսում, բայց ընդեղ կա, չունեմ։ Այո, բայց get name-ը չկա։ Այդ արդեն չի աշխատում, այդ ուղղակի հարցը ուզում էր ասել կարելի է circular թե չէ, բարձր չէ, ուղղակի չէի ուզում, մինչև չհաստատեի, ասել չէ։ Սպասում եք։ Հա, լսում եմ ձեզ։ Հա, ուղղակի չենք ասել։ Հա, ես ամեն ինչ, նույնիսկ ըստ ձեր ասածին, կարող եք ընդհանրապես inheritance չանել։ Ուղղակի հենց այդ մեխանիզմով ամեն ինչ կամ այո, հասնում։ Այս կողմերը մի հատ հարց, այո, լսում։ Հա, okay, չէ։ Ուրեմն JavaScript-ում որպես attribute-ներ, հա, private ու public concept չկա։ Այսինքն, եթե object-ին ինչ-որ մի բան կպած ա ու դուք ունեք reference այդ object-ին, ցանկացած կպած բան կարող եք կարդալ։ Բայց, եթե ուզում եք private անել, կարող եք այդ ֆունկցիաներով կամ closure-ներով անել, այսինքն վերադարձնեք մի հատ object, հա, բայց քանի որ այդ object-ը ստեղծվել է ֆունկցիայի մեջ, որը կարող է ունի ինչ-որ local փոփոխական, object-ի ֆունկցիաները կարող են այդ local փոփոխականները կարդալ, բայց դրանից դուրս ոչ ոք չի կարող։ Մի քանի օրինակ կտեսնենք։ Other questions? Great seeing you guys again. I hope I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Take care.